I'm not hearing the music.
Big times roll down. Got hey, gonna get hey, music.
I am.
Got it. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Well, come on down. It's ticking time. Society 11's on the line. Get your questions and topics on the board, or we'll just end up talking about
WP Horde.
Kurt and Andy. They're the team. They got the tactics. The laser beam, rocking the net, just like a storm. Bring in the inside battle, morph and transform. Plug in, tune in, what about your future? Try to be, try to bang, in Society 11th Street. Chat's on fire, the room tonight. Keyboards clicking at the speed of light. Kurt and Andy got it right. Dealing with them on Friday night. So wrap it up, grab your gear. It's our collective prime. Cravings for the codes add-on, like the grind. Power up the screens. Society's got your fix. Kurt and Andy are in the mix. Oh, it's Society 11's hour. Hear the electric call. Kurt and Andy leave the vault, decipher it all. Listen.
After that big build-up, huge build-up, and we can stop that. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Thank you. And good night.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good day. Good night. And of course, Katanga Society 11. Where's my coffee? It's over there.
Katanga.
On the table. It's Friday. And some of you seem to enjoy that. We're actually that track was made before the Wednesday one. That we've had that in the bag. But anyway, let's say hello to some lovely people. The J Dog is in the house today.
I'm Greeny and
you're what?
I'm pixelated, huh?
Yeah, you're escalated.
I'm going to stop sharing my cam. How about this? You just get to see my face wearing suspenders and a tie. Braces is called in England, if I remember correctly.
Hi, Tom Clark. Tom Clark says, so Sean Mize is back with a course. Is he really? Doesn't surprise.
Beyond the Sofas, yeah.
What's it called? Oh, never mind. Tony Project, good afternoon.
Interesting.
Who else we got in? Doug Halfpenny. Hi, Doug. Good to see you. Ellie's here as well.
What's up, Doug?
Mike H is in. Tim Parker is in. Stephen Brocklehurst is in. And
good morning. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Mike. Good morning,
that is Mr. Mellor there.
Steve. Mr. Mellor.
Whose post I really enjoyed reading. the other day about his little project. It's great to hear what people have been up to and how they're using this technology and other stuff that we have around us to do amazing things. So, and Jerome says, speaking of AI music, shout out for Alessandro's Deal of the Day music.
Oh, yes. Speaking of AI music.
Doesn't surprise me that he's already got a prompt out for music prompts, but there you go. I mean, I'll be honest, with all the music stuff I've made, most of the prompting is really simple. It's not
that is.
I mean, the advanced stuff is knowing what you can put in square brackets, for example, in Udio and stuff like that, which is almost anything. I mean, it'll figure it out. But I have found that different variations of commands in square brackets make huge differences to tracks. Yeah. So yeah, but well done, fast action, getting a product out there. Kurt's having fun there, I can tell. So what are we talking about today, Kurt?
I was just looking at StreamYard because, well, I'm looking at StreamYard status because you're breaking up unless everyone else can hear you. But I've got 800 up and 800 down megabyte speed. So I'm wondering if something else may be the issue.
Yeah, very probably. It's probably an issue at the... I know that in the UK yesterday, there were some major thunderstorms, and we got knocked out here at 6 o'clock. I was just about to go into a meeting, and everything went off. And I know that when it all came back, like everyone was pixelated as crap on things like Zoom and stuff. But I think that was just, I don't know, that's just a sign of people getting rerouted, having their traffic rerouted and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll cope. We'll get through it. Have we had any big?
I'm going to reboot my router. I'm going to reboot my router real quick.
Okay. Kurt's finally giving out. He's going to go and reboot. So I'll have a quick look over on Society 11, see if there have been any burning questions asked in there. Not breaking up, yeah. So anyway, let's have a quick look down. I did see that Tom Clark asking earlier about book recommendations. And already there's some people gone in and said things like anything by Dan Kennedy. Yeah, anything by TJ Rolleder is very good too. And let me just grab a couple of things off my bookcase, literally off the nearest bookcase to me, which is where I have books that I dig into more frequently. Bill Glazier's Outrageous Multi-Step Marketing Campaigns is a really good book. Lots of illustrations for those that actually want to see examples of his campaigns, which is what I really liked about it. But also, he does make some very good points. If anything, it's a bit padded out. You know what I mean? When there's a bit of fluff in there, But on the whole, a good read and a good book. So that's one. I'll grab another one as well. This is a great book. And I believe it was Folker that sent me this originally. Said, you've got to read this. And he was right. The Paradox of Choice, Why More is Less, by Barry Schwartz. Excellent book. Although I would say, really like it, but again, it takes quite a lot of talking to make the points he makes, if you see what I mean. I tend to prefer things that go to it a bit quicker, but nonetheless, a very good read. My TJ Rolleder books are in the bathroom at the moment, but TJ Rolleder is the one that does things like really blunt titles, like How to Get Rich in the Business Opportunity Market and things like that. And his thinking on those things is really, really good and well worth a little look. So for those of you that haven't seen Steve Mellor's post in Society 11 titled There Are No Vampires Here, highly recommend you go and take a little look at that. and see what Steve's been up to and how all this stuff can come together. I love it. Yeah. So do go away and have a look at that. It got my attention because it mentioned Art Malik, who's an actor that my uncle is an actor, and he's worked with Art Malik a few times. It caught my attention because I was like, oh, a name that I know.
Yeah.
So
am I clearer?
Welcome
now?
back, Kurt. You're looking crystal clear.
Yeah.
No, we spoke this evening. Yeah, no, you are.
Oh, there we go. Well, there we go.
So while you were gone, we just did a couple of book recommendations for Tom Clark over from the
Ryan Dice
Down Society on what has been asked there. He'd already mentioned that one. Yeah. Invisible Selling Machine by Ryan Dice.
Read it multiple times.
Yeah, and also I'll say this again. I mean, I love Ryan Dice's stuff, but once you've read Invisible Selling Machine, that's everything he teaches that's worth knowing.
Over and over again. He teaches the same thing over and over again.
All these high ticket courses are just that regurgitated with a few examples in them and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not knocking it. We all do that, right? We've only got, when I do if I do a 3-hour training course on something or a 2-hour training on something, there's going to be a fair bit of repetition in there because what I do is basic marketing 101. But it's like anyone. Every time you hear someone speak, you normally get something else out of it, which is why you guys keep turning up on a Friday.
Exactly.
So Kurt's in HD and Steve's complaining about hurting his eyes. Take your glasses off, Steve. So
one of the other books that I like is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Chris Voss is, he was an FBI hostage negotiator. He negotiated and saved thousands of lives. So when you want to talk about negotiating underneath pressure, he knows exactly what pressure is and when to negotiate. And you can utilize what he teaches in real life. If you're working with local businesses, negotiating, businesses are going to try to negotiate your fees. They're going to negotiate your services. That is an amazing read in order to work with your customer negotiating and work with you negotiating with your customers. Yep.
So, all right. All the technical issues seem to have calmed down. We can see Kurt clearly. We can hear Kurt clearly. So that's all good.
No jazz hands this morning, Jerome. Sorry.
No jazz hands. So Tim Parker in the chat there was asking about what AirPods you're using, Kurt. So you can very quickly answer that one for us.
Well, these here are just BTX, but I've got my own audio style earplugs that go into them. They're sold separately. I got them both on Amazon. I like using them. I don't use my hearing aids here because these have a longer range around the house. My hearing aids maybe 15 feet away and I cut out. But I have to have something piped directly into my ears because my hearing is so terrible these days. And then of course, I went and actually got a fitting yesterday for a new set of hearing aids. So we'll see how those do. Newer technology. So once they come in the next week or two, which those were $3,000 a piece. It's stupid insane. I think you're muted. Or I got disconnected. Let me reconnect. That's just great. Oh, it could be you because we didn't have background music. No, because you're not on your Jip. I can hear you now.
Yeah. Technical gremlins are in the mix today, big time. I just had I heard the audio all cut out on my computer. Anyway, back.
Wow. I mean, it's gremlin hell. That's what it is.
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to say that Steven says that now that UDO has come along, how long before somebody out there brings out a limited version that will be poop? Yeah, of course. I mean, there's already thousands of music things out there anyway. But why are they going to bother? You know, or why will people buy it? Because apart from, it doesn't cost me monthly. But the other thing is, with any AI tools that are out there, first of all, there is always a cost of running these things. You know? So anyone selling it on a one-time thing is setting themselves up for trouble anyway, unless they're making you put your own keys in. And using a ChatGPT thing like WriterHub Online does, like many other tools out there do. I think that's a fair way of doing it. The ones that are trying to do everything, they're going to come unstuck. And also, look how fast this technology is coming on. And at the moment, there's a certain element of the competition is driving things. So for a long time, Soma was the leading music thing.
Leading edge.
UDO was all right, a fun toy. Now that has entirely flipped in the last sort of few days. But how long before it flips back? Because now what's going to happen? Soma are going to put out their next release. And so the other advantage of doing it a month at a time, $10 at a time, whatever, you can chop and change your subscriptions around. So you're not tied to anything. So, you know, I mean, I'm not currently subscribed to Midjourney. The one thing I've consistently been subscribed to is ChatGPT Premium. And lots of other things I have been a member of for a month, maybe 2 months, and then I have cancelled because I don't need it at the moment.
I've heard a lot of people complain about, they're saying, well, ChatGPT is now free, even 4.0, which is for Omni. And they're canceling their subscription to ChatGPT. And I'm like, hold off just a moment. Hold off just a moment. What you're doing is cutting off your nose to spite your face, because there may be bringing more stuff for the paid side. They're not going to ignore the paid side. If they do, they're not as bright as I think they were.
And the paid side gets priority still, I believe.
Right. I haven't heard of any limitations on For Omni yet. So,
yeah. So, you know, it's like with these tools, it's best to not get too tied up. Now, when certain limiteds come along, yeah, it's worth taking a pump. But I wouldn't take a part on anything that was music AI at the moment because it's changing rapidly. You know,
just imagine this. Can you imagine how much drive space that they have to have in order to keep a copy of all of this music?
Yeah.
They can't stay one price. There's no way. It's not a viable business model, because the more drive space you have to pay, you really need a little bit better RAM. You need a little bit better CPUs in order to find the information as quickly as possible. So they're having to grow their servers. There's no way a business such as that is going to stay viable for long without switching over to a monthly value.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do I need Midjourney? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not subscribed to Midjourney because I'm doing any images I need. I can get GPT or Canva to do for me with my credits that I have on Canva as well. So, I know that earlier in the week there was a little bit of discussion about Grok from Product Dino, but for those that don't know, it's just a listing thing. It's a bit like Quick List and other things. I mean, I'd looked at it. It took about 10 seconds of going, yeah, I don't want that.
Which product is that?
Grok from Product Dino.
Yeah, well, Froz is the actual creator of it, as well as he's the creator of Quick List. I talked to him. He said, yes, QuickList had a lot of input on Grodd. It looks more like a landing page creator than anything else. Yeah, like you're saying. But yeah, it's oh, Nice Page is 50% off until May 24th.
There you go. Anyone that wants to get in on Nice Page or renew, good opportunity.
We do that anytime that I see it. I renew at that point in time because it just extends from the point of time that I originally purchased, and then it extends it. So yes.
Yeah. But good news, they run a couple of offers. They normally run one in this time of year, and one around Black Friday is the other common one. And that's when I renew my Nice Page too. I'm like, yeah, I'll have another year at the special rate. Thank you very much. Because that's a tool that I foresee myself using for some time into the future. I don't think there's not a competing product come along that I like the look of yet. And bear in mind, when a competing product comes along, it's got to be really good because I've got to learn it again. And I have the advantage with Nice Page that I know my way around it.
Right, exactly. There's what you're comfortable with, what you're able to utilize in a logical and efficient manner. You don't need 15 different page builders. You need one. You don't need 15 different autoresponders unless you're doing solo ads.
Oh, by the way, bye-bye.